After reading the letter, Anna Hardy felt she had to mature properly, to grow up like a woman. The girl became indignant, slammed both her hands on the table, and foolishly cursed out loud. "How foolish," she said, then suddenly turned left and strode over to throw open the windows. Right after, Anna Hardy's eyes involuntarily welled up with tears, and she just stood there frozen, pondering the space in front of her. After a moment, Anna Hardy slowly sat down on the nearby chair. Then she continued to gaze at the plants and flowers she had tended to with her own hands, and the chickens leisurely foraging in the garden. Then she couldn't help but think grimly, "This world is so cruel." But beauty and spring still arrive. The world doesn't care about a woman's feelings, even though I have lost my love. My house looks so run down and vulnerable to robbers. Spring's arrival is wonderful, she thought. Anna Hardy couldn't help but wonder and muttered to herself, "Grandfather, isn't this foolish?" Then she continued to think grimly, "What should I do? The world is beautiful despite the cruelty of men, but if we return to reality, the world is very bitter. Protecting the house and protecting grandmother." Yes, just then, someone suddenly called out, Miss Anna Hardy." Hearing that, she quickly replied, "Yes, maid," who called to announce that lunch was ready and she should come down. Anna Hardy replied, "Yes, I'm coming down." With that, she quickly stood up and walked to the nearby dressing table. Then she sat down and couldn't help but be surprised at her current appearance in the mirror. She muttered to herself, "What's this? It's fine, it's fine. Wake up, Anna Hardy. Everything will be all right." "This letter needs to be hidden," she said. Then Anna Hardy immediately stood up and quickly went downstairs. A moment later, the silver-haired woman asked curiously, "Anna Hardy, have you asked the lawyer for help yet?" "Yes," she stammered a bit. "Yes, but not right now. I'll go see him next week." Hearing her say that, the old woman nodded slightly and replied, "All right, I hope they can help us." She smiled slightly and added, "Of course, grandmother. Everything will be fine." Then she couldn't help but feel guilty and silently apologized in her heart. "I'm sorry for lying, Grandma, but I'm ready to contact the lawyer. It's no exaggeration to say this house is all I have. And it's the fault of the nobility. But this all happened because of Baron Barden. Baron Barden died a few months ago." Thinking this, Anna Hardy involuntarily recalled what the lawyer had told her that day. "You see, Miss Anna Hardy, this is how it is. I'm very sorry about the Baron, but the property belongs to that man, and you cannot stay in the house." Anna Hardy quickly interjected, "I have no doubt that his property will be transferred to his nephew, Sir Thomas Barden. I know the property inheritance laws. There must be a way to keep the house." The lawyer calmly replied, "I don't know. From the beginning, I've already given you my advice, miss, that you should beg for mercy from Sir Thomas Barden." Clutching the umbrella in her hand, Anna Hardy couldn't help but feel indignant. She thought, "Beg for mercy, isn't that too humiliating? Unfortunately, I have no choice. What will happen if I leave the house? Either way, I'm responsible for my grandmother. I will write a letter to the esteemed Sir Thomas Barden. I will beg for your mercy." After that, Sir Thomas arrived. Grandmother looked so thin. "I lost my grandfather, and now I'm about to lose the house. I have to do this because I have no other choice. What a difficult choice. I can't tell grandmother about the letter," she thought. Anna Hardy suddenly pulled her chair out, stood up and offered, "I'll do the washing up. Griff said she baked some cakes, so you should eat plenty and have some tea." "Thank you, dear," Anna Hardy said. A moment later, while drying the plates with a towel, Anna Hardy couldn't help but think sadly. "Soon, this house will be owned by Thomas Barden. I'm sure he will sell the house and land without any hesitation. If I refuse, I don't think I would feel this way. First, I am very sorry for the death of Baron Barden. I understand Miss Hardy's feelings right now, but it seems very difficult to accept that request. It's a painful situation for everyone. But if Miss Hardy agrees to marry me, I will think about it. What do you think?" she recalled from the reply letter. This made Anna Hardy so angry that she slammed her hand on the table, causing Griff, who was standing behind her, to startle and turn around. "Yes," she suddenly turned around and said with a bright smile, "I've finished washing up. Now I need to rest a bit." Little Griff replied, "Ah yes, thank you, miss." "I've finished washing up. Now I need to rest a bit." Little Griff replied, "Ah, yes, thank you, miss." A while later, Anna Hardy was sitting under a tree, looking up at the sky and thinking sadly. "Don't cry. It's not worth crying over. Who treats their relatives this way? Untrustworthy." Suddenly, Anna Hardy remembered something, jumped up and said, "My father. Yes, my father." Then, she hurriedly ran straight home. Meanwhile, at a distant castle, on the river in front of it, a very lively rowing event was taking place. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, harder, 1, 2, 1, 2, stronger, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. BA 1, 2, 1, 2. Harder, 1, 2, 1, 2. Stronger, 1, 2, 1, 2. And let out a soft sound. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then complained, "Ugh, it's so noisy." Slowly sitting up, the blonde young man scratched his neck and grumbled, "So annoying." Slowly sitting up, the blonde young man scratched his neck and grumbled, "So annoying." "Has spring arrived?" he said. Then Prince Phien Nider Reason looked outside. Then, he quickly stood up, walked to the window, pulled open the curtain, and grumbled, "So noisy. Noble families and their passion for trying everything. I really don't understand why they sit next to each other on that boat. What's so fun about it?" I think it has something to do with showing off their bodies to women, he said. Phien Nider Reason then picked up a bell and rang it lightly, then leisurely put on his robe as he heard the tinkling sound. The butler quickly opened the door, entered, and bowed respectfully, asking the prince, "You called for me." Taking a sip from his glass, he confirmed in a low voice, "Yes, look." Then, he glanced back and pointed towards the group of people chanting in unison, rowing rhythm 1, 2, 2, 3. Hearing this, the butler immediately apologized. "I apologize for this, Your Highness, but there is no way to stop them. Because the council has given them permission. It seems there are many teams participating this year, so it will be very chaotic." Phien Nider Reason gave a faint, indifferent smile and stated, "The winner will be Lionel Messi anyway, how foolish. All he needs is to seek attention." But hearing this, the butler concernedly made a suggestion. "Would you like to change bedrooms, sir?" He immediately replied, "No need." The butler quickly suggested, "I will go prepare some food." He hastily instructed, "Just bring some fruit out to the balcony." With that, Phien Nider Reason quickly went to the bathroom, then soaked in the tub to relax. Just then, he suddenly remembered something. So he let out a sound, "Ah!" A moment later, on the balcony outside Phien Nider Reason's bedroom. While leisurely gazing at the beautiful river in front of him, he slowly picked up the glass on the table, and was lost in thought about something. Just then, the butler suddenly called out, "Your Highness, the Crown Prince has arrived." He didn't reply, but nodded slightly, indicating to let the Crown Prince in. As soon as he saw Crown Prince Leonard Nider Reason enter, Phien Nider Reason also quickly bowed to greet the Crown Prince. "I'm still not dressed, so make it quick." Seeing him being so disrespectful, Leonard Nider Reason couldn't help but get angry. Fuming, he frowned and asked, "What are you trying to do? What do you want?" With that, Leonard Nider Reason immediately threw a magazine onto the table, just as he saw his own picture being used. On the cover of the magazine, along with the bright red headline, "Are poisonous mushrooms really good?" Phien Nider Reason quickly asked, "Poisonous mushroom?" Leonard Nider Reason quickly sat down and asked irritably, "You don't know? That's your new nickname." He repeated doubtfully, "Poisonous mushroom. Nice picture, thanks." Hearing that, Leonard Nider Reason was momentarily stunned and stared at him. A moment later, he announced in a serious tone, "Gladys Hardy has returned." Seeing that Phien Nider Reason wasn't the least bit worried, but was leisurely enjoying a piece of apple in his hand, made Leonard Nider Reason feel a bit impatient and ask, "What are you going to do?" He calmly put down the apple slice and casually picked up a grape, and softly remarked, "How nice. A pity for the beautiful Princess Gladys Hardy, beloved by all the people of Jason, but Prince Bern abandoned her. Rumor has it she lost her child. She will return to Jason in just a few days, and the focus now is the reunion with Prince Baron, the former heir to the throne, but now known as the royal family's poisonous mushroom, and the unlucky Princess Gladys Hardy. Actually, those are just rumors to satisfy people's curiosity. Today is a wonderful day. It is time for the poisonous mushroom." A confused Leonard Nider Reason asked, "What are you talking about?" He whispered in reply, "They know very well." Meanwhile, at station number 5, Anna Hardy had just let out a sigh. The station supervisor immediately walked over and asked, "Miss, are you getting on?" Startled, she turned and replied, "Ah, I am getting on now." Then she hurried towards the train, thinking sadly that her grandmother probably had not read her letter yet. "I am sorry, Grandma. I am so selfish. I just left a letter and ran away. I could not tell you I was going to see Father. I had to leave before Grandma could stop me because she cannot stand him. Father, it has been 11 years since then. My mother's funeral did not change anything between them, no. My mother's funeral did not change anything between them, no. He is worse than anyone I have ever met. He might reject and banish me, but I have no other choice." Sweating, pale, and flustered, she replied, "Sorry, I am getting on now," and quickly boarded the train. She then thought with determination, "I will do it. I will see what fate awaits me." Sweating, pale, and flustered, she replied, "Sorry, I am getting on now," and quickly boarded the train. "But I will do it with my own strength and will, so I must fight until the very last moment of my life. After all, the world does not care about a person's problems. No one can solve my problems for me. I wish I had never left, but if I get kicked out, where will I go? I am so worried. I really hate this moment. I truly have no other choice. I wish I had never left, but if I get kicked out, where will I go? I am so worried." Seeing Anna Hardy clutching her luggage and constantly wincing, she looked like she was in a lot of pain. Then, the young man calmly rested his head on his hand and leaned back in his seat, relaxing. The brunette girl frowned in annoyance and asked, "Baron, are you listening to me?" He gently placed the teacup on the table, then calmly rested his head on his hand and leaned back in his seat. He quickly rubbed his head, thinking, "I am so sleepy. Is it because I woke up too early? Are you listening to me? It is annoying how handsome this man is." He still did not answer. He quickly rubbed his head, thinking, "I am so sleepy. Is it because I woke up too early?" She closed her eyes and frowned, asking irritably, "You are not going to answer me? An exclusive? Buying secret information from acquaintances? This article is not true, is it?" As she spoke, the atmosphere fell silent again. Seeing Phien Nider Reason dozing off while she was still there made her so furious she jumped up and yelled. But hearing that, he woke with a start, then calmly looked at her with a hint of admiration. He thought, she is an amazing woman. It usually takes half a day to get from the capital to Swearing, but I am surprised she arrived so fast and still looks so elegant. After thinking this, Phien Nider Reason suddenly reached for the newspaper, casually opened it in front of her, and began to comment. He was surprised she could arrive so quickly and still look so elegant, he thought. Phien Nider Reason suddenly reached for the newspaper, casually opened it in front of her, and began to comment. According to a close associate who wished to remain anonymous, there seems to be a connection between the two. Forgiving an ex-husband for a shameful act is not wise at all. Princess Gladys Hardy is weak-hearted and hesitant because Reason's social gathering will be held this summer. They say things might get very heated. With that, Phien Nider Reason bluntly tossed the newspaper onto the table. With one hand on her hip, she pointed and declared irritably, I see no reason to continue this relationship. I must end it before spring ends. Seeing Phien Nider Reason calmly pick up his teacup after she declared their breakup left her utterly confused. She crossed her arms, wondering why he was looking at her that way. Watching her, he thought, quite elegant. Everything is just right. Not a bad mistress. I could enjoy this a bit more. Continuing a relationship like this, I think I have to end it. Then, he calmly said, I congratulate you on your commitment to this relationship. The furious Lady Bian shouted, What? How can you say that? Phien Nider Reason casually asked in return. Were not you the one who wanted to break up? I just agreed with you. Did I do something wrong? He thought impartially, quite elegant. Everything just right. Not a bad mistress. I could enjoy this a little longer. We will get back to reality after she has a wonderful time. This will happen before she starts screaming over a cheap, silly rumor sheet. After thinking this, Phien Nider Reason let out a sigh. Then, he calmly said, Congratulations on your commitment to this relationship. The furious Lady Bian shouted, What? How can you say that? Phien Nider Reason casually asked in return. Were not you the one who wanted to break up? I just agreed with you. Did I do something wrong? Hearing this, Bian's face darkened and her blood began to boil. She shouted, Wait a minute. Phien Nider Reason slowly ran a hand through his hair, thinking he was too tired for this. Seeing this, she yelled, I have so much I want to say to you, and you just say this. He did not reply, but slowly turned to her with a scrutinizing gaze. Seeing this, she began to tremble with rage. Just then, Phien Nider Reason suddenly bowed slightly and wished her well in a soft voice. I hope you become a great person and a famous actress, he said, which took Bian by surprise. She stared at him, stunned. Before she could speak, he quickly turned and left. Breaking into a sweat, he turned to Mrs. Fit and asked, You are not going to start singing now, are you? You will let me sleep, right? I am very sad, Mrs. Fit replied sternly. As your nanny, I will do my duty. But unfortunately, I am afraid something bad will happen. You must board the train as soon as possible. He asked in surprise, The train? She quickly announced, His Majesty will arrive soon. Phien Nider Reason frowned and rubbed his forehead in frustration. Oh, that is today, he sighed. She immediately confirmed, Yes, it is. And with the Royal Hospital's Charity Association you invited today, you must protect your reputation. Be ready to go now. In Anna Hardy's train car, people were now packed together. It made her feel so suffocated she broke out in a sweat, thinking, Oh, I am going to die. I think I will make it in saffron. Wow, it is so crowded and luxurious. I think I can smell money. As long as I do not feel alienated, it is where I was born and raised, even though he left 5 years ago. I will find him, Anna Hardy thought, just as the train came to a stop. She muttered to herself, This is the last stop, Saffron. This is Saffron Station. Then she clenched her fists and thought, It will be fine. Let's go. A moment later, Anna Hardy was squeezed in the middle of a bustling crowd, thinking uncomfortably, Oh my God, what is all this crowding for? What is going on, she thought, tilting her head to look ahead. The girl in the orange dress smiled and guessed. Is it the girl in the blue dress? She added. I can't see anything, Anna Hardy whispered wearily. Please stop pushing me. Then she thought in a panic, What should I do? I can't get out of here. They're pushing me out. What should I do? I can't get out of here. They're pushing me out. Just as she thought. Then stop pushing. They shoved her out. The sudden situation startled her, causing her to stumble and scream. Then stop pushing, she thought. Just as the thought finished, she was pushed out by them. The sudden situation startled her, causing her to stumble and let out a scream. Oh, what a coincidence. The man they were all pushing and shoving to see just appeared. He arrived right on cue, and it was none other than Phien Nider Reason. She caught a glimpse of his incredibly handsome face. This made Anna Hardy stare at him, wide-eyed and open-mouthed for a moment. As if sensing someone's gaze, Phien Nider Reason glanced over, catching Anna Hardy by surprise and making her blush. Just then, a guard suddenly shouted at her, Get out of the way, now! Everyone backed away. The people standing nearby heard him and quickly moved back too. They bowed their heads to let Phien Nider Reason pass. As he walked, he glanced down at her and thought to himself, Oh, that girl really stands out. Why is she dressed like that? It's so outdated. It's like we're from different eras. Seeing this, the man with glasses frowned in annoyance and asked, What's the problem? Why can't we pass? He's acting like a child, making such a scene. Anna Hardy broke into a cold sweat and trembled, thinking, He's going to hear you. I just know it. I won't look at him. But Phien Nider Reason suddenly turned his head, startling the man with the glasses. Before the man could even recover, he suddenly smiled, startling him again. Seeing him simply turn and walk away, Anna Hardy was a bit surprised and thought, he seems very tactful. He deals with rudeness with a smile. The man with the glasses clutched his chest and cried, "My heart aches," causing the people nearby to gossip curiously. "Oh, what's that? Oh my God." Soon, it was almost dark. They gossiped, "Oh, what's that? Oh my God." Soon, it was almost dark. The sun has set and I still haven't found the place. She then thought, that's a beautiful fountain. I should sit here and think for a moment. After thinking, Anna Hardy quickly put her luggage down and sat on the edge of the fountain. She looked up at the sky and sighed. Oh dear. Then she thought anxiously, this is just the beginning and it's already so hard. But I must maintain the grace and style of a lady, just as my grandmother always told me when I was a child. Calm and elegant, like a noble lady. After reminiscing, Anna Hardy mumbled to herself, my family is Hardy. I am an elegant lady trained by my grandmother. Are you watching, Grandma? Your granddaughter is going to become someone great, Anna thought. Are you watching, Grandma? Your granddaughter is going to become someone great, Anna thought. Just then, the fountain behind her coincidentally roared to life. She was in awe, thinking, wow, I've never seen anything like this. It's so beautiful. Sepharine is one of the most beautiful cities she's ever seen. Suddenly remembering something, she exclaimed in surprise, oh, it's so late already? And I'm going to be late. With that, she hurried on her way. She thought, I'll be strong and keep going. Meanwhile, at a lively party, the blonde girl, Kim, asked in shock, is it true? I can't believe Gladys Hardy is back. I know what that means. Phien Nider Reason cut in bluntly. So, it's going to be a terrible summer. Is that what you mean? She demanded furiously. Oh my God, how can you say that to me? How can you talk about Gladys Hardy like that? You're the one who left and hurt her. Are you happy now? Phien Nider Reason didn't answer, but instead, he recalled the accusation of the girl with jade green eyes. How could you say something so cruel? Seeing his silence, the blonde girl, Kim, quickly came over to persuade him. I'm not saying this just because Gladys Hardy is my friend, but you have to go because of her condition. Of course, it's not easy, but you have to go. Excuse me, Phien Nider Reason said softly, suddenly turning his head. Duchess Heine. The name made her jump, her face turning pale as she broke into a cold sweat. He continued indifferently, I think the Duke is looking for his wife, so you should go back to your husband. Hearing this, she pouted in embarrassment, while her husband, Duke Heine, stood blankly behind her. She warned peevishly, I'm going to tell on you for this. This happens time and time again. I have to go. I'm exhausted. Just then, Phien Nider Reason's friend called out to him. But here, he let out a sigh and walked over, asking, what's going on? His friend replied with a smile, ah, investments. A failed investment in foreign bonds. It turned out to be a scam, he asked doubtfully. An investment? He suddenly said, thank you, Your Highness, for being alive. Oh my, why would you say such a thing? At that moment, a new project is coming up in a few days. There's never been an investment like it before. Money will be pouring in, you have to invest too. As he was explaining this, Phien Nider Reason immediately remarked, your damn obsession. The man gave a weak smile and replied, at the time, I wished you weren't from the royal family so I could punch you. But in the end, it was you who saved my life. By investing in the steel company you recommended, I made a lot of money. He casually replied, that's all because you have a talent for being annoying. If you hadn't succeeded, you would have lost your shirt. He found that amusing and burst out laughing, asking, I suppose you feel you have enough when you already have everything, right? His drunk friend mumbled, they wouldn't have you, so heartless. There are many victims of this scam. You must catch them at all costs. It's a crime. It's a crime. The blonde friend chuckled, explaining for the other man, take Duke Anna Hardy. He almost lost his entire fortune. He'd be dead. Phien suddenly felt annoyed and glanced over, thinking, wipe your nose, Anna Hardy. Is he an idiot? As he was thinking this, Phien's gaze fell upon a flower bush in the garden below, making him think in surprise, Silverbell flowers. The flower from Gladys Hardy's bouquet. I heard it's her favorite. Thinking back, the girl at the train station was wearing a sparkling outfit. Her hat had silver bells on it. She seems to cling to old-fashioned styles. She's a strong woman. Anna Hardy looked up at the castle and mumbled, I've finally found it. Nothing bad will happen. Looking up at the castle, Anna Hardy mumbled, I finally found it. Nothing bad is going to happen. I can do this. Then, with a trembling hand, she pointed forward and thought, I can do this. This is my father's house. The red-haired woman suddenly scowled. What will you do with that child, Arian? As soon as he heard the red-haired woman say his daughter had arrived, he flushed with anger, thinking, what? My daughter, what are you talking about? I only have one daughter. Who would dare impersonate her? My daughter, what are you talking about? I only have one daughter. Who would dare impersonate her? Without making him wait long, Anna Hardy quickly stepped inside and called out meekly, Father. The moment he saw her, he stared, mouth agape in shock. Irina, she pleaded earnestly, Father, please protect the house on Baron Barden Street, as she chased after Mr. Arian. I'll send her away. Hearing this, she couldn't help but scoff sarcastically and irritably. Ha ha ha, You make it sound so easy. She showed up in the dead of night and asked me all sorts of ridiculous questions. Ha ha ha, you make it sound so easy. She showed up in the dead of night and asked me all sorts of ridiculous questions. Oh right, they're dirt poor now. We should give them a little something, and then we'll end up broke, just like them. I'll send her to my mother's house right now. Then, feeling annoyed, he thought to himself, this girl is such a headache. But I haven't seen her in ages, and now she comes to me for money. How did she turn out so bad? But I haven't seen her in ages, and now she comes to me for money. How did she turn out so bad? Hearing him call, Anna Hardy turned around gently and spoke politely. Hearing him call, Anna Hardy turned around gently and spoke politely. Hello, child. Hello, father. Seeing him suddenly standing there staring at her blankly, the red-haired woman couldn't help but mutter in confusion. What the hell is wrong with him? While sizing up Anna Hardy, Mr. Arian rested his chin on his hand and thought to himself, what the hell is wrong with him? While sizing up Anna Hardy, Mr. Arian rested his chin on his hand and thought to himself, I can't believe she's this beautiful. She'd definitely look even better in some fashionable clothes. She could rival Princess Glaze, the one everyone's always talking about. Fashionable. She could rival Princess Glaze, the one everyone is always talking about. So he immediately smiled and suggested that Irina forget the formalities and just go eat. Anna Hardy, a bit bewildered, replied, what? Oh, yes, of course. The red-haired woman asked, confused, darling, what are you playing at? He quickly replied, oh, never mind, let's go to bed, my love. The red-haired woman asked, confused, darling, what are you playing at? He quickly replied, oh, never mind, let's go to bed. Darling, didn't we have something to discuss? The fate of the Hardy family, it's a very important topic. Arriving at the door, he quickly greeted, good morning, Mrs. Fit. She bowed her head slightly and asked sternly, isn't it a bit too early to be home? Ha ha ha, there's news. An invitation from the palace, Phien Nider Reason. Hearing this, he turned his head and asked, from the palace? Why? It's the annual royal banquet, and it contains a request from His Majesty. If the prince does not attend, His Majesty said he will punish those who use the port. Hearing this, Phien Nider Reason commented with some displeasure. This is more of a threat than an invitation. Mrs. Fit replied with a calm smile, I'm very sorry to hear that, while opening the door and stepping into the room. Mrs. Fit replied with a calm smile, sorry to hear that. As she opened the door, she stepped into the room. This banquet marks the beginning of the Imperial Founding Festival season. Its main purpose is to attract public attention. There will be plenty of foolish nobles who've spent the entire year preparing for this. It's all about attracting public attention. There will be plenty of foolish nobles who've spent the entire year preparing for this. I haven't attended since I left the position of Crown Prince. She said she wouldn't leave. They made that decision at the charity event. He suddenly recalled his mother, the Queen, asking him, John, is there any woman on your mind? Then, he thought to himself, my mother's anxiety must have gone beyond that. I remember flatly refusing her that day. My mother was visibly worried, and perhaps Gladys Hardy was the reason. She had a way of making me worry like that. My mother was worried. It was obvious, and perhaps Gladys Hardy was the reason. She had a way of making me worry like that. A moment later, upon returning to her room, Anna Hardy let out a sigh and thought in frustration. A moment later, upon returning to her room, Anna Hardy let out a sigh and thought in frustration. The atmosphere in this house is so strange. It's rather chaotic and gloomy. After 3 arguments, my father convinced me to stay. He said he'd think about it. After that, I'd rather go back to Burford than talk to him. This room is so noisy and uncomfortable. Just then, Lisa Baven suddenly called out, Lady Irina, I've brought you afternoon tea. Anna Hardy replied, yes, come in. The maid immediately spoke up. Don't be so formal, my lady. Please speak comfortably. Anna Hardy suddenly smiled sheepishly and replied, ah, yes, all right. The blue-haired maid smiled reassuringly. Yes, please just relax. As she picked up her teacup, Anna Hardy thought to herself, thanks for taking care of me, but this feels strange. It's been a while since I've been around anyone. Someone close to my age. It's been a long time since I was at Baron Fear's. Baron Barden is far from there because there are very few people in Sydney. He is Baron Fear. He left Burford to study and I haven't seen him since then. Come to think of it, the Royal Academy of Arts. The place with Baron Fear's masterpieces is at Squaring, right? After thinking this, Anna Hardy suddenly apologized. Excuse me, Lisa Baven, she replied with a smile. Yes, my lady? You seem curious about something. Is the Royal Academy nearby? Lisa Baven replied. It's just a few stops away on the GA train. Are you planning to go out? She quickly explained. Oh no, I was just curious. Then she thought to herself, it would be impolite to visit him. What if he's changed? Baron Fear, Lisa Baven suddenly called out. Lady Irina, she replied. Oh yes. The maid then announced, the master is looking for you. Seeing Anna Hardy enter, Mr. Arian beamed and said, is that Irina? Oh, no. My daughter, Irina asked. I heard you sent for me. He immediately confirmed. Yes, I did. Yes, I have something to tell you. Will you forgive this terrible father of yours for not looking for you? Letting you grow up so beautifully all on your own. Oh, Irina, my poor daughter. He quickly began to cry and wail dramatically. And I thought there was nothing I could do to make up for your suffering. I thought it was too late. To make up for your suffering, I thought it was too late. Watching him, he could so perfectly play the role of a father heartbroken for his daughter. It was quite an eye-opener for her, and she muttered, "Such great acting, old man." Anna Hardy just replied, "Ah, yes." It was quite an eye-opener for her, and she muttered, "Such great acting." Anna Hardy replied to the old man, "Ah, yes, as a gift." Anna Hardy's eyes widened in surprise as she asked, "Really?" Mr. Arian confirmed decisively, "I will buy it from Thomas Barden and give it to you, on one condition." He clasped his hands together. "I will buy it from Thomas Barden and give it to you, on one condition," he said, clasping his hands together. Anna Hardy joyfully asked again, "Really? Thank you, father. I'm so happy." Lisa Baven beamed and said, "Isn't this wonderful, my lady?" He let out a hearty laugh, confirming it again. "Ria and I want to ask a favor of you. Irina, from now on, please live here with us. I want to live with you." She asked, stunned. "What?" He quickly reassured her. "Not for long, just 1 year. I want to live with you under one roof for a year. People can't help but blame me for leaving you all alone in that remote place when you were just a child. It'll be wonderful. How about living here for a full year and building some real relationships? By stepping into society and expanding your connections, I believe your father has an obligation to care for you. No, at least let's live in the same place." The red-haired woman added with a faint smile, "Branda is also willing to help you. Yes, you're a lady, and I will help you shed that plain dress and live a beautiful life." How glamorous. But hearing this, Anna Hardy couldn't help but worry, thinking to herself, live a beautiful and glamorous life? Besides, social connections. I've never thought about that. What should I do? If I refuse, will the house really disappear? Anna Hardy was carefully weighing her options, thinking, "Father, I understand how you feel. Yes, I'm sure you will help me. I know it's a lot to handle, but it's only for 1 year. It's not that bad of an offer." Having come to a decision, Anna Hardy gave her serious answer, "Then I will stay here." "It's all right, I'll do it." Then she quickly encouraged herself. "That's right, I can't lose." At a cafe in the middle of a bustling and crowded street, people were coming and going. A curious voice suddenly spoke up. "How did the race go?" "It was a clean sweep. Bien's horse won." "I've never seen it lose before," he said, maintaining a cool demeanor while his two friends were engrossed in their chat. "But you never care about horse racing, do you? So why would you sell it to her?" "That's right, a lot of people want to sell to her. I'll be the first." Facing their curiosity, he just casually uttered a sentence, his eyes still closed. "I don't care about horse racing, but I will never sell it to her." Hearing this, his friend asked in confusion, "If you're not interested in this, then why don't you sell it to her?" He lifted his head proudly. "Because she belongs to me." The friend next to him gave him a judgmental look, then said annoyedly, "We know that, but she's not your girlfriend." "Are you some kind of pervert?" The other friend suddenly glanced at them with interest, then exclaimed excitedly, "Forget about it. Have you guys heard about the Hardy family? I have some great news from the main palace." And Phien Nider Reason stared at him in disbelief. He thought or repeated, "Anna Hardy." The man nodded slightly and continued, "They've brought in a new maid." But the long-serving maids were suddenly fired because they had lost all their assets and are on the brink of bankruptcy. The two guys started diving back into the world of gossip. Ignoring Phien Nider Reason's cold attitude, "Are you sure she's a maid? I saw her outside the window when I went there. Anyway, I'm sure she's the maid." "Ha ha ha. Were you stalking her?" "I wasn't stalking her. I happened to see her on Terra Avenue, so I wanted to talk to her because she's quite beautiful." "Hello, miss." She looked like she'd seen a ghost. I still don't know her name because she seemed pretty scared. Even though her face was scared, you could tell she's from the countryside. "Were you being rude?" "Of course she'd be scared of you. What the heck? When you say hello, you should look at her like a prince. You shouldn't scare a girl like that. My mom says I'm very handsome, you dog." Indeed, Phien, for some reason, suddenly felt annoyed, stood up, and reminded them, "Stop talking nonsense. I'm leaving. Anna Hardy, Anna Hardy." That was a family name that was once famous. A fresh morning began in the luxurious mansion. Anna Hardy's stepmother was trying her best to convince Victoria, with tired beads of sweat rolling down. "I'm sure that the girl is more beautiful than any girl you've ever met. If you meet her, you'll surely see that what I'm saying is true." She kept her eyes closed, saying arrogantly, "She should be a prime example of a lady. Otherwise, I won't waste my precious time. And I absolutely hate it when people waste my time." This proud, beautiful, and powerful woman was Countess Victoria Mayer, a legendary figure in the social circles of Lisun. Born the daughter of a Korean-American baron, she became a countess as expected. Her father was extremely successful. Since they married their daughter into a powerful and wealthy family, there's no doubt she was dubbed the Queen of Social Gatherings. The women who received her education would go on to have extremely happy marriages. Mothers with daughters would definitely send them all to her. The stepmother glanced away, nervously biting her fingertip. She thought to herself, "To be able to invite this woman here, I had to ask for help from everyone I know, and even those I don't know. Irina, you better not disappoint me." Victoria remained silent, not wanting to say another word to her and having no intention of socializing with this common person. The stepmother clenched her fists on her dress, her jaw tight. "Irina, I wish I could sell you to a man. A rich one. Then all our problems would be solved." She recalled the words Arian had excitedly told her. "Karina, it's perfect. Listen to me, have you seen her beauty?" "She is the epitome of noble beauty," she repeated blankly. "What do you mean, Walter?" he became even more enthusiastic. What do I mean? We have the most wonderful commodity. We will sell her into a social marriage. The stepmother immediately turned pale and exclaimed in horror. What? You want to sell that girl? But Arian coldly cut her off. Stop your useless worrying. It's not my problem. That girl will be sold and become the wife of some rich guy. That way, we can pay off all our debts and return to our normal lives. The stepmother's jaw dropped, unable to close her mouth. After a moment of shock, her expression suddenly relaxed back to normal. The stepmother let out a long, tired sigh, lamenting, "Ha, we have no other choice." A maid's voice suddenly rang out, interrupting the stepmother's recollection. "Miss Irina is here." She quickly urged, "Right, she's finally here. Tell her to come here." Anna Hardy immediately dragged her feet, slowly walking to the main hall. Step, step, step. Anna Hardy's simple outfit further accentuated her pure and clear beauty. Furthermore, as Victoria closely observed Anna Hardy's pretty face with her big, round eyes, she became interested and glanced at Anna Hardy. Then she exclaimed, Victoria politely greeted her. "Hello, Miss Irina. I am Countess Mayor Ichiranda." Anna Hardy also respectfully lifted her skirt and curtsied before Victoria. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Countess. I am Irina Hardy." The stepmother hurriedly approached Anna Hardy and then asked, "What do you think, Countess? Do you like our Irina?" Victoria gave a satisfied smile and exclaimed happily, "What you said is true. You weren't lying. I am very happy to meet Miss Hardy. My name is Victoria Mayer. From now on, I will be in charge of your education." Scene change. Sharp scissors slowly approached a small, fresh flower, then cut off the newly bloomed sprigs, stripping it of its vibrant beauty. Snip, snip. Anna Hardy was absent-minded, repeatedly doing that action with a sad frown. Snip, snip. The words of Baroness Barden from that day suddenly replayed in her mind. "Irina, this is just ridiculous. I don't want to see you anymore. Stay away from me." Anna Hardy became agitated, crying out in a pleading tone. "I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm truly sorry." But she remained cold. "If you truly want to apologize, then you must refuse that offer." Anna Hardy shouted back firmly. "No, I can't do that. Today, Lawyer Hardy will meet Thomas Barden, otherwise they will foreclose on this house." "No, I can't do that. Today, Lawyer Hardy will meet Thomas Barden, otherwise they will foreclose on this house. Please just listen to my father for a moment. He said he would give me the house after a year, Baroness Barden." She looked at Anna Hardy with a complicated expression, asking slowly in a soft voice, "Irina, I've already told you. Why are you so insistent on keeping the house?" Anna Hardy answered hesitantly, "Baroness Barden, it's not that it has nothing to do with you. My father protected me, and I've lived with him until now, so I love him, Baroness." At that, Baroness Barden looked at her with incomprehension, asking doubtfully, "Love, Irina? Are you serious? Is that what you really want? Get out, I want to be alone." Just then, Lisa Baven's voice suddenly rang out, causing Anna Hardy's whole body to freeze, snapping her back to reality. "My lady, I've prepared afternoon tea for you. Would you like to have it now?" Anna Hardy turned to look at her rosy, always cheerful face. Everything is fine. I'd be happy to share it with you." Lisa Baven exclaimed happily. "Yes." The warm tea was slowly poured into a small porcelain cup. "Yes," Lisa Baven was satisfied, her face flushed. Lifting her head slightly, she exclaimed, "The Countess's tea is wonderful." Seeing her silly action, Anna Hardy chuckled and asked curiously, "Is that so? Are you that happy?" Lisa Baven quickly nodded. "Yes." Anna Hardy pushed the teapot towards her with a friendly invitation. "Then have some more." Lisa Baven took a sip of tea, her eyes glancing at her thinking, "She seems quite interesting, and she's sharing her tea with me, a servant. I think I understand why everyone talks about it, but I mean Lady Irina. She's not like the rest of the nobles. She's not arrogant at all. Looking at her clothes, she looks like a country girl, but I must say she is very beautiful and also very lovely. I've never seen anyone like her before, so noble, gentle, and polite. Ah, milady, what are you doing?" Look here. It's very pretty. Did you make it yourself?" Anna Hardy glanced distractedly in the direction Lisa Baven was looking, and answered casually, "Oh yes," she exclaimed excitedly with an expectant look. "Really, can I see it?" Anna Hardy was shy at Lisa Baven's excitement and agreed in a low voice. "Of course you can. Here you go." Lisa Baven's jaw dropped in amazement, her eyes wide. "It's so beautiful. You're very good at this." Anna Hardy tilted her head slightly and replied happily, "Hee, thank you." She still clutched her wool flower in her hand and said loudly, "I'm serious. It looks just like a real flower." Hearing that Anna shyly offered, "You can have it if you like it that much." Hearing that, Lisa Baven turned pale with alarm and quickly explained, "What? No, I didn't mean to take it." Anna quickly reassured her in her gentle voice. "Calm down," her wool in her hand, and said loudly, "I'm serious. It looks just like a real flower." Hearing that Anna shyly offered, "You can have it if you like it that much." Hearing that, Lisa Baven was startled, turning pale, and quickly explained, "What? No, I didn't mean to take it." Anna quickly reassured her in her gentle voice. "Calm down. Consider it a gift from me. It would look lovely if you put it on your hat. You could also use it as a hairpin." She finally calmed down and shyly bowed her head in admiration. "That's wonderful. Thank you, milady. I'll take good care of it. By the way, milady, would you like to go for a little walk?" Anna Hardy was stunned that she had suddenly changed the subject so skillfully and quickly. "What a walk." Lisa Baven cheerfully walked ahead, looking at her eagerly and chattering away. I'll take you to many beautiful places. Consider it a gift in exchange. I'm sure it will be very new and refreshing for you. Anna Hardy said in a hesitant tone, I'm very grateful. I'm not sure if I'm bothering you, she explained casually. I'll take you to buy an umbrella and a hat, it's no problem. My duty is to serve you, and they finally went outside together to breathe the cool air. Lisa Baven pointed to the bustling, crowded places ahead, explaining to Anna Hardy. This is Squaring Park, and this is the harbor. Do you want to see the fountain? Anna Hardy answered excitedly at once. That's really wonderful. She pointed to the buildings next to them and introduced, the best hotel in Squaring is right here. His tea room is very famous in that restaurant. We'll go there later, milady. Anna Hardy's eyes suddenly fixated on a man walking down the street with his face covered. The familiar face of that man caught her eye, causing Anna Hardy's entire body to freeze. Her eyes widened and she stared at him without looking away even once. Anna thought to herself, that's the person from that time. But Lisa Baven suddenly grabbed her shoulders in agitation. Cutting off Anna's wandering thoughts, she warned in a low voice, You mustn't, milady. Anna Hardy called out to Lisa Baven in confusion. But she quickly pulled Anna Hardy's shoulder and hurried in another direction. Yes, he's very handsome. I understand how you feel, but you can't. It's forbidden. It's definitely not allowed, and you can't look at him like that. Hearing her say that, Anna Hardy asked with curiosity, Is he a very bad person? As if she'd been waiting for the question, Lisa Baven immediately poured out everything she knew about him. Oh my gosh, of course. He's very bad. I must say he's not good at all. Anna asked again. What else? Lisa Baven bit her finger, then said in confusion. What was I going to say? He's like a poisonous mushroom. Remember that, milady. If you eat a poisonous mushroom, you will die. A beautiful, magnificent wedding dress was placed in front of everyone. The stepmother's eyes widened in disbelief. She clasped her hands together while Victoria behind her was still comfortably sipping a small cup of tea. The stepmother thought in horror, is she planning to let the girl appear before the nobility with bare shoulders and an open chest? Is that dress really that revealing? She immediately asked with hesitation and reluctance in her heart. Lady Mayor, shouldn't it be a bit more modest? I mean, don't you think a classic ball gown would be better? Victoria still kept her eyes comfortably closed, then slowly explained, yes, why not? Then a 29-year-old debutante wearing an old-fashioned dress lost in a crowd of young girls would surely be a sight to behold. The stepmother's face turned ugly, but she had to clench her teeth to suppress the boiling anger in her heart. What a sharp tongue that. But she's right, that dress will definitely capture all the attention. And really, I only care about selling the girl off. Anyway, she's no ordinary woman. Over there, Lisa Baven was suddenly called and she answered blankly, yes, madam. The stepmother approached gently, lifted Lisa Baven's chin, then ordered in a low, threatening voice, do whatever it takes to make Anna wear this dress. If she doesn't wear it, you know what will happen. You'll be fired immediately from this grand and magnificent mansion. Valle stood leisurely while the servant buttoned his sleeve, and then his tie. Even the shiny shoes on his feet were something not to be overlooked. The servant announced respectfully, it's done, your highness. Phien Nider Reason, the elegant and charming version that captivates girls, was finally born. Phien Nider Reason bowed respectfully. It's a relief, to be honest, your highness. Thanks to you, all the servants in this mansion weren't punished by the king. The social event is about to start. You should hurry before you're late. But he just casually called out, what's so bad about being late? In the dark night, a sweet song echoed through the dense forest. Your highness, perhaps, we should pray for something to happen on the way. An angry woman's voice suddenly came from the carriage on its way to the mansion. It's all your fault. Arian let out a long, tired sigh and said, good grief, are you blaming me for the carriage accident now too? The stepmother continued to shout angrily, if you hadn't lost our horse in the city, this unlucky thing wouldn't have happened. He cut her off, annoyed. Why are you bringing up old stories now? Anna Hardy, who was sitting in a corner of the room, clasped her hands together in confusion. She thought worriedly. Anna Hardy, who was sitting in a corner of the room, clasped her hands together in confusion. She thought worriedly, ha, I wish we'd never arrive at the ball. I can't believe I have to stand in front of so many people in a dress like this. I have no other choice but to wear it. I don't want Lisa Baven to get into trouble, but I really wish Anna Hardy thought gloomily I could disappear right now. After a long journey, the carriage finally stopped in front of the luxurious mansion's gate. Anna Hardy slowly stepped out of the carriage. With her slender feet, she was as beautiful as an angel, but she frowned at the splendor of the luxurious mansion before her. As soon as Victoria saw Anna Hardy's family, she angrily shouted from her position as the lady of the house. Anna Hardy, why are you only arriving now? Unbelievably late. Arian quickly spoke up to explain. Although she was still annoyed, she glared at Anna Hardy. Why did you have some trouble with the carriage on the way? Victoria questioned loudly. And what's with that shawl? Arian said awkwardly. The girl refused to attend the ball without it. We were at our wits' end. She irritably grabbed Anna Hardy's wrist, dragging her away hastily and urgently. You can't even manage one girl, how pathetic. Follow me. Anna Hardy trembled and said loudly in agitation, please, if your ladyship would give me a little time to. Victoria raised an eyebrow and repeated, time? What time? Yes, all the debutantes for this year have already been introduced. Even the king has arrived. How much longer do you want us to be late? She turned to the guards for help. Please announce her. The doorman immediately followed her instructions, loudly announcing to those inside. Lady Anna Hardy has arrived. Anna Hardy's eyes widened, her whole body trembling, unable to shake the nervousness in her heart. Victoria's eyes saw right through the deepest thoughts in Anna Hardy's heart. The door slowly creaked open. Anna Hardy squeezed her eyes shut, still too scared to step inside. The guests inside. All were looking at her with a mix of curiosity and interest. Victoria's hand decisively grabbed the shawl on Anna Hardy, then whispered urgently, "Now go inside, Lady Anna Hardy." Her shawl fell, revealing her perfect figure and her pretty face. Anna Hardy quickly composed herself, returning to a gentle posture with her eyes wide open. The guests all turned their eyes to Anna Hardy with flushed faces, and the young ladies were no exception. They all stood there, stunned, as Anna Hardy slowly stepped into the banquet hall amidst the whispers of everyone around. "Oh my, how beautiful. She's Viscount Hardy's daughter. How did I not know he had such a beautiful daughter? I heard she lived in the countryside. She clearly doesn't seem to like it here. That's why her debut was so late." The bustling chatter made Anna Hardy feel extremely uncomfortable. "I can't breathe." Her hand unconsciously slid to her neck. Anna Hardy was immediately shocked as she reached for her shawl. "Why is it gone? Without the shawl, I'm so exposed right now." Anna Hardy became distressed, her face pale, gasping for air. "Ha ha, I can't breathe! I can't breathe!" The guests at the party finally noticed something was wrong with Anna Hardy. They exclaimed in confusion, "What's wrong? Why is she just standing there?" Anna Hardy kept her head down, hugging herself, confusedly wondering what to do. "It hurts!" Just then, the doorman's announcement suddenly rang out. "It hurts!" Just then, the doorman's announcement suddenly rang out. "The Grand Duke of Super, Prince John, has arrived." Phien Nider Reason slowly entered the banquet hall with a majestic air. He frowned deeply, his eyes holding a hint of annoyance. Anna Hardy's slender back immediately caught Phien Nider Reason's eye. On the other side, her stepmother's face turned pale with fear. Breaking out in a cold sweat, "That fool is blocking the prince's way. What should I do?" Victoria just casually went TSK, 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 and Phien Nider Reason asked himself, "Who is this woman? Why is she just standing there?" Anna Hardy suddenly collapsed right in front of Phien Nider Reason. She immediately lost consciousness and fell to the ground. In front of everyone, but at that very moment, a steady hand quickly reached out. Phien Nider Reason gently caught Anna Hardy's weak body as she fell into his chest. Anna Hardy was still trembling with tears. As tears pooled in her eyes, Phien Nider Reason dazedly watched her in the now silent party. Phien Nider Reason realized her condition. This woman couldn't even breathe. Take a deep breath. Anna Hardy immediately looked up, her gaze meeting his deep eyes, from Phien Nider Reason's perspective. Anna Hardy looked like a small, fragile creature, with tears of discomfort welling up. The thought occupied Phien Nider Reason's mind. It made him freeze for a moment. Phien Nider Reason gently leaned down and whispered softly in Anna Hardy's ear. "Just breathe slowly." Anna Hardy wearily leaned against his warm chest in the dead silent atmosphere. And under the judgmental eyes of those around them, he gently wrapped his arms around her, creating a romantic and tender scene. Phien Nider Reason opened his eyes and frowned. Hearing Anna Hardy's tired gasps, "Ha ha," cold sweat rolled down Anna Hardy's forehead. She groaned in discomfort. Anna Hardy suddenly opened her eyes, gradually regaining her senses, and hurriedly looked up. She immediately saw Phien Nider Reason's handsome face staring intently at her. Anna Hardy blushed and lowered her head. She moved her body away from him and stammered, "Your Highness, I'm sorry. Please forgive my rudeness." He didn't say anything, just looking at her with cold eyes. He observed her flushed face, and her hands covering her chest. He vaguely guessed that she was still in a state of shock, and wearing a dress like that to a ball. Just then, a respectful voice suddenly spoke up, interrupting Phien Nider Reason's wandering thoughts. "Excuse me, Your Highness," she said politely while the stepmother led Anna Hardy away. "I am truly sorry. It seems Lady Anna Hardy was too nervous, which is why she made such a blunder." Phien Nider Reason frowned deeply, exclaiming in annoyance, "So Countess Mayer is the one behind this. I see." He watched Anna Hardy's trembling back in the distance, thinking, "I've just been used by the best matchmaker." Legend, whispers started to spread everywhere, as if they knew the whole story. "That's the matchmaking lady for you. It really didn't disappoint, but I can't believe they used the Grand Duke's coat like that for the debut. Do you think she really planned that? But how could the lady have known the prince would be late? How else would you explain it?" Anna wearily slumped into a chair while everyone around was still pointing at her, whispering about me, "But that lady is really something else. I thought she'd be naive, coming from the countryside. But what she just did was unbelievably cunning." Then Victoria suddenly approached her and asked in a low voice. Although Anna Hardy was annoyed, she still had to turn and glance at her. "Lady Anna Hardy, how are you feeling? If you're better, why not at least go have a dance? After all, this is still your debutante ball." Anna Hardy angrily shouted, firmly refusing. "I won't. I can't." Seeing her like this, not only was she not angry, but she also tilted her head and smiled with amusement behind her hand. "It seems you're angry." Victoria used her fan to gently lift Anna Hardy's chin, thinking for a moment. Then, she slowly said, All right, I will respect your decision not to dance, but make sure you behave properly tonight. I know you were raised by the Barden family, and I'm sure you want to protect their reputation too, understand? Tonight, I know you were raised by the Barden family, and I'm sure you also want to protect them." Her eyes widened, repeating the words, "The Barden family, their reputation." Anna thought with determination. "She's right, just a little longer. I just need to endure it, no matter how much I want to run away right now." Having completed her task and said what she needed to, Victoria turned to leave. Victoria turned to leave. A strange smile appeared. Ha ha. Anna Hardy tried to squeeze her eyes shut and regulate her breathing. When she opened her eyes, the figures of the twin brothers talking in a corner immediately caught her eye. In Anna Hardy's eyes, this pair of twins was so perfect she couldn't find a single flaw. One looked cold and handsome, while the other had the air of a gentle leader. Anna Hardy dreamily recalled what she knew about them. One looked cold and handsome, while the other had the air of a gentle leader. Anna Hardy dreamily thought to herself, they look exactly alike, but I've heard their personalities are complete opposites. Crown Prince Phien Nider Reason is the proper, serious type with a military demeanor. They look exactly alike, but I've heard their personalities are complete opposites. Crown Prince Phien Nider Reason is the proper type. Serious, with a military demeanor. Prince John, on the other hand, has a carefree air, always looking like he's just taking a stroll. Even at a party like this, for some reason, Anna Hardy's eyes were fixed on Phien Nider Reason, thinking, and he's the one I met at the train station and the hotel. That's Prince John. She dazedly uttered the two words she had heard from Lisa Bavin when talking about him, poison mushroom. Just then, Phien suddenly noticed Anna Hardy's warm gaze constantly on him, and he slowly looked towards her. Anna Hardy immediately blushed, flustered and embarrassed as their eyes met, and she quickly looked away. To hide his awkwardness, Phien Nider Reason casually glanced at her and asked in a low voice, "Isn't that the girl from earlier?" With a suspicious tone, he asked, "Are you sure nothing happened between you two?" Veer suddenly flashed a mischievous smile. "Well, I can always make something happen if you want." Hearing that, he cried out in annoyance. "You're crazy!" Phien Nider Reason playfully shut his eyes and suggested, "Why don't you ask her to dance?" She definitely wouldn't refuse the crown prince, but Phien Nider Reason scowled and gritted his teeth. "Why should I do that?" He crossed his arms again and teased in a low voice, "Aren't you interested in her?" Annoyed, Phien Nider Reason quickly shot back, "What nonsense are you talking about?" Phien Nider Reason softened his voice, saying with a hint of smug confidence, "I thought you were worried the woman you like would end up with your brother," but he just coldly turned and walked away. He replied flatly, "I don't like her. I was just asking in case. I'm leaving." "I thought you were worried the woman you like would end up with your brother," but he just coldly turned and walked away. If I hadn't heard the name HD and known about Mrs. Mayer's work, I would have been completely fooled. She's so good at acting all shaky and scared, it's unbelievable. Grabbing everyone's attention with that revealing outfit, and now it's time to play the part of a fragile woman. Ha, I wonder what fool is about to fall for this act. I'd be absolutely furious if I hadn't heard of HD and known about Mrs. Mayer's work. Then, he said to the person next to him, "We have to get him married. The more I think about it, the more it seems like the best plan." Grabbing everyone's attention with that revealing outfit, and now it's probably time to put it on. The real problem is if I ask him directly if he's interested in any woman, and get answered with, "Wasn't one divorce enough?" That's a scary thought. The king closed his eyes and replied with annoyance, "But it looks like he's going to have a hard time soon, though it's none of my business." That evening, in another place. Away from the noisy party in the hall, the king lightly touched his chin, deep in thought. Then he said to the person next to him, "We have to get him married. The more I think about it, the more it seems like the best plan. Do you agree with me?" The queen glanced at him, then tilted her head slightly as she replied, "You clearly don't understand your son at all, your majesty. Do you think John will simply agree to it? The real problem is if I ask him directly if he's interested in any woman, and I get answered with the question, 'Wasn't one divorce enough?' That's a scary thought." The king shut his eyes and replied with annoyance, "Yes, I know full well what he sacrificed and how hard that decision was for him." Phien Nider Reason's determined face and resolute voice. At that moment, the memory flashed through his mind. "I will renounce my title as crown prince and get a divorce. I've made my decision. I will not take back this decision, your majesty." The king bowed his head, troubled, "But no matter how much I think about it, I can't come up with a better solution. Do you think if it weren't an arranged marriage, it would be better? To let him choose his own partner. After all, the queen is the one who understands Phien Nider Reason best. The problem is John himself never wants to be involved in marriage again." He seemed to remember something, then turned to her and asked, "Then we must make him want to consider it, my dear. Is there nothing between John and that young lady?" The queen slowly shook her head. Phien Nider Reason said he didn't think so. "Wait, don't tell me your majesty is actually considering Lady Anna Hardy." The king looked thoughtfully into the distance and remarked, "Not necessarily, but if she can make John's heart flutter, then any girl is welcome, as long as she's better than Gladys Hardy." The queen gently reached out her hand, picked up her teacup and told him, "I know exactly what's bothering you, Philip." She added in a firm, assertive tone, "But please don't worry too much. There is no chance of him ever getting back together with Gladys Hardy." The next morning, a slender figure was seen approaching the luxurious mansion. The young blonde woman stood before the mansion's gate, staring at it, while the servants outside bowed respectfully to her. Inside the mansion, Phien Nider Reason suddenly snapped his head around upon hearing the news from Fid. She was flustered. With beads of sweat on her panicked face, she stammered, "I apologize, your highness, I couldn't." Phien Nider Reason didn't blame her and just gently said, "Fid, it's all right. Please make me a strong drink." She quickly replied with a bow, "Right away, your highness." Phien Nider Reason reached for the doorknob, and after a moment's hesitation, finally pushed the door open with his own hand. The blonde woman was sitting inside, apparently having waited for Phien Nider Reason for a long time. She called out in a sorrowful voice, and the corner of Phien Nider Reason's mouth curled into a bitter smile of amusement at the blonde woman. Leaning against the door, he replied sharply, "Hello, ex-wife." She cried out dejectedly, her voice tinged with disappointment. He slowly walked towards the blonde woman, taking small, indifferent steps, and sat in the chair opposite her. Facing his cold attitude, the blonde woman hesitated before speaking. "It's been a while, hasn't it?" She lowered her head, her body trembling. "I apologize for showing up so suddenly without notice, but I thought this would be better than us meeting in public." Phien Nider Reason slowly opened his eyes, looking at her with suspicion. The blonde woman's hands clenched tightly. Flustered and nervous, she still couldn't say anything, while Phien Nider Reason silently waited for her to speak. After gathering all her courage, the blonde woman said sincerely, her face covered in tears, "Phien, I'm sorry. Everything was my fault. I am truly sorry." Phien Nider Reason indifferently crossed his arms. Then, he faced her and stated coldly, "As far as I know, our relationship has already been settled, princess. You got what you wanted from me, and I from you. Isn't that right, Gladys Hardy? I'm so glad to see you haven't changed at all, always boring me with these meaningless acts. How strange. Is that all you wanted? Surely you didn't travel 1,000 miles to Latran just to say that." "Ha! It was the king's order. Now all the annoying little problems are finally dealt with. Perhaps he sent you here hoping you could get back together with your ex-husband. Such an obedient daughter. So obedient, you really haven't changed." The blonde woman clutched her dress, her voice trembling and hesitant. She explained weakly, "That's not the only reason. I wanted to apologize. So I gathered my courage to come here because I've been feeling so tormented." Phien suddenly spoke in a cold voice, cutting the blonde woman off. "Princess, I think you've misunderstood something. We made a fair deal. In fact, my side got the better end of the deal." She cried out in agitation, but Phien Nider Reason just bent over laughing. Then he exclaimed sarcastically, "Ha ha, seeing my ex-wife so worried about me, I'm so moved I could cry." His eyes immediately turned calm and serious, with a hint of cold bitterness. Phien Nider Reason's finger gently traced the rim of the glass on the table. Suddenly, the glass was knocked to the floor by Phien Nider Reason's hand, sending tea splashing everywhere as it shattered loudly. The blonde woman's face froze in horror, but Phien Nider Reason showed not a single ounce of pity for her, instead maintaining his ice-cold demeanor. Hearing the loud crash from inside, a maid immediately rushed in and asked loudly, "Your Highness, is everything all right?" Phien Nider Reason just coldly picked up his coat and ordered the maid who had just entered to clean up the mess. He then walked away decisively, leaving behind the blonde woman sobbing into her hands and the flustered maid, who didn't know how to console her. The scene shifts back to the mansion where Anna Hardy lives. A worried Lisa Baven quickly asked Lady Anna Hardy, "How are you feeling today?" Anna slightly lifted her head to look at her, then reassured her in a low voice. "Oh, it's all right. I'm feeling better." Hearing Anna say that, she sighed helplessly, thinking to herself that the lady had been bedridden for 3 days since the ball. Lisa Baven looked at Anna Hardy with sympathetic eyes, thinking to herself that she shouldn't pay any mind to that good-for-nothing prince. "But no matter how many times I say it, my lady won't listen." "Oh, that's right, my lady. Please wait a moment." After saying that, Lisa Baven ran off somewhere and quietly brought a pile of newspapers, dropping them in a box right in front of Anna Hardy, looking exhausted. She wiped the sweat from her forehead, while Anna Hardy just stared blankly at the mountain of newspapers before her. She asked puzzledly, "What are all these?" Lisa Baven quickly and honestly replied, "A gift for you, my lady." Anna Hardy gently touched the newspapers with curiosity. "Newspapers and tabloids?" Lisa Baven immediately nodded eagerly to explain. "That's right. Reading all of this will help my lady understand the high society world inside and out." Anna Hardy hesitated, feeling a bit insecure. "Can I really study the nobility with these?" Lisa Baven said excitedly, "Of course, there's no better way to study the affairs of the rich. All the news is in here." But as soon as Anna Hardy opened a newspaper, she saw a piece had been cut out. Lisa Baven cried out in alarm. "Huh, oh my god. I mean, who cut that part out? The maids must have gotten carried away. Everyone talks bad about the poison mushroom prince, but they still cut out his picture every time it's published. Anyway, my lady, you go ahead and study, and as for me, I'll go organize the mountain of letters and flowers that were sent while you were sick. I'll go organize the mountain of letters and flowers that were sent while you were sick." So she relented. "Thank you, Lisa Baven." Then, Anna Hardy obediently opened the first newspaper. Reading the contents intently, the newspaper was filled with details about VF's broken marriage. With the headline, "Prince Phien Nider Reason divorces Princess Gladys Hardy. The Crown Prince hasn't visited his child once since the divorce." With the headline, "Prince Phien Nider Reason divorces Princess Gladys Hardy, Crown Prince Phien Nider Reason." Prince John, known for his coldness, didn't even attend his son's funeral. Prince John, known for his coldness, didn't even attend his son's funeral. The scathing remarks about him were further embellished by journalists, making Phien Nider Reason's reputation even worse. After a series of scandals, Prince John ceded the Crown Prince title to Prince Leonard Nider Reason. But in reality, he was dethroned. He's the very embodiment of a poison mushroom, The royal family, Anna Hardy, gripped the newspaper in agitation, then exclaimed in frustration, "Oh my God, is he really that terrible?" But in reality, he was dethroned. He's the very embodiment of a poison mushroom. The royal family, Anna Hardy, gripped the newspaper in agitation, then exclaimed in frustration, "Oh my God, is he really that terrible?" Hearing her comment, Lisa Baven was happy, tilting her head and smiling slyly to herself. "See, I told you so." The scene changes to another place, where a hand is holding a wine glass. He suddenly raises it forward, then speaks. It seems Count Leman is the most likely candidate to become Lady HD's husband. Hearing this, a hand sorting cards froze mid-air. Someone asked doubtfully, "Count Leman? That old geezer is still alive?" The person who brought it up immediately shared what they knew. Well, Viscount HD has been meeting him quite often lately. Someone listened to their gossip, annoyed and bored. He thought to himself, "Everywhere I go, it's HD this and HD that. I'm so sick of hearing that name." They exclaimed with interest. Well, it seems they don't care who she marries, as long as he offers a high enough price. That's how these arranged marriages work, and if the Count dies early, they'll just sell her off again. So I bet it's a pretty attractive offer for her family. Poor Lady HD. She's about to become an old man's bride before ever getting to date a decent single gentleman. Speaking of which, Lady HD, don't you guys think she looks strangely similar to Princess Gladys Hardy? Haha, she really does. I don't know why, but I suddenly shut my eyes in annoyance. What idiots, he thought, as his friend continued. Of course their appearances are a bit different, but their personalities are identical. The other one excitedly agreed, "That's right, they're both those doe-eyed beauties." Delicate and fragile, Phien Nider Reason shut his eyes tightly, thinking to himself that these two still haven't learned. They'll learn when one of those does bites them in the neck. One of them suddenly came up with a fun idea. "So what do you guys think? Want to do something nice for her? We could let her taste a bit of pleasure. Being treated kindly by a young man before she gets married, wouldn't that leave a good memory for everyone involved? Great, let's make a bet. Whoever wins over Lady Anna Hardy wins the bet. It's our way of showing compassion for such a pitiful soul. So what do you say?" A gently fragrant orchid was placed in front of Anna Hardy. She leaned down slightly to inhale its scent. Then she exclaimed happily, "It's so beautiful. Orchids really are my favorite flower. Come to think of it, I used to make all of these myself, and now there are so many. What should I do with them? I used to sell these when I lived at the Black VA estate. I wonder if I can sell them here too. I have to find a way." Just then, a knock on the door, and Lisa Baven's voice suddenly interrupted her wandering thoughts. "Lady Anna Hardy, may I come in?" Anna Hardy called out casually. "Of course, Lisa Baven, come in." She then entered excitedly, carrying a large gift box. Then she turned to her and announced excitedly, "My lady, look, the new dress has arrived." Anna Hardy wondered to herself in confusion. "Why do I have a new dress?" Hearing this, Lisa Baven exclaimed in surprise, "You don't know, my lady? You and the madam are going to the opening of the art exhibition today." Still confused, Anna Hardy raised an eyebrow and asked again, "We are?" Lisa Baven cheerfully held up the dress in front of Anna Hardy, explaining, "Yes, it's an extremely famous exhibition. It's hosted annually by the Royal Academy of Fine Arts. This dress is much more modest than before, right?" But Anna Hardy wasn't paying attention to the dress at all. She rested her chin on her hand, thinking blankly, "The Royal Academy of Fine Arts? Wait, isn't that where Baven Larsfear is? I might be able to see him there." Anna Hardy finally decided to go to the party her stepmother arranged. She looked around curiously, thinking, "So this is the Royal Academy of Fine Arts. My stepmother arranged for me." She looked around curiously, thinking, "So this is the Royal Academy of Fine Arts. It's so crowded today, but I'm not as scared as last time, maybe because I know I might get to see Baven Larsfear, which means there will be no mistakes that turn you into a laughingstock." She replied to her firmly, "Of course not, Countess Mayer, I will do my best." But a short while into the party, she immediately flew into a rage, exclaiming, "Lady Anna Hardy, you are truly hopeless." Flustered, with a pale face and cold sweat, Anna Hardy quickly said to Victoria, "I'm sorry, Countess Mayer. Victoria led Anna Hardy to a small courtyard outside and reminded her sternly, "Lady Anna Hardy, you know this isn't just about you, it's about my reputation too." Still panicking and breathing heavily, Anna Hardy bowed her head and said, "I'm truly sorry." The woman questioned her irritably, "How long do you intend to maintain this pathetic appearance?" Anna Hardy didn't know what to do and could only repeat, "I didn't mean to." "Lady Anna Hardy, you know this isn't just about you, it's about my reputation too." "Yes," Anna Hardy replied loudly after she had walked away. Anna Hardy finally had a moment to compose herself. "I thought today would go smoothly. I didn't mean to." Victoria got angry, turned away abruptly, and warned her with frustration. "I don't want to go back in there at all, but a lady of the Black VA family must not give in to something like this." Just as Anna Hardy was about to return to the hall, her eyes suddenly fell upon a familiar figure. "But it's okay, but when everyone stares at me, I can't seem to breathe. I don't want to go back in there at all, but a lady of the Black VA family must not give in to something like this." The figure. Anna Hardy immediately rushed past him, calling out loudly, "Baven Larsfear!" That red hair, that strong build, could it be him? Baven Larsfear. Baven Larsfear. Baven Larsfear. Phien Nider Reason was peacefully sleeping, stretched out on a small stone bench, a lone figure. Anna Hardy immediately rushed past him, calling out loudly, "Baron Barden!" Phien Nider Reason's eyes immediately shot open, looking towards the sound. Anna Hardy, after running around for a moment, stopped and bent over, panting. Phien Nider Reason curiously looked towards Anna Hardy, silently wondering about the woman. He carefully observed the girl's face. Phien Nider Reason was stunned to see Anna Hardy looking dejected, letting out a tired sigh. "I've lost him, and I didn't even get a clear look to see if it was Baron Barden. To think I came all this way just for a chance to see him again." Phien Nider Reason continued to watch Anna Hardy's every move, while she remained unaware of his presence. "Looks like my afternoon nap is ruined, thanks to that little intruder." Anna Hardy squeezed her eyes shut and slumped onto the nearby stone bench. Suddenly, her eyes flew wide open. Anna Hardy immediately saw Phien Nider Reason's eyes staring at her coldly. Silence fell between them. For a moment, Anna Hardy was still stunned, her eyes wide. Phien Nider Reason remained nonchalantly where he was, waiting for her next reaction. Her face flushed red as she exclaimed in alarm, "I'm sorry, I'm so very sorry." Phien Nider Reason silently watched Anna Hardy's retreating back, a feeling of annoyance towards Baron Barden rising within him. So that's the name of the guy she was meeting here. A secret rendezvous in a private corner of the garden. Pretty impressive to go to these lengths. That innocent little fawn is about to devour a mountain of men. He suddenly noticed a small handkerchief that Anna Hardy had dropped by the opposite bench. Phien Nider Reason gave a scornful smile and remarked, what a cliché." Back at the lively party, the elegant guests were cheerfully mingling. The party exuded luxury and elegance, a gathering for the nobility, but Anna Hardy stood flustered in a corner, lost in her troubled thoughts. Anna Hardy told herself, "You're so stupid. You didn't act like a lady at all in front of the prince. Why do I always get so flustered around him? In front of the prince, you didn't act like a lady at all. Why do I always get so flustered around him? Oh my, look over there. She's finally here." Princess Gladys Hardy, the one they were talking about. Exquisitely beautiful, she slowly entered the ballroom. Anna Hardy was stunned by her beauty. She thought, wow, so that's the real Princess Gladys Hardy. She's gorgeous, even more elegant and gentle than in the magazines and newspapers. The excited whispers continued as Princess Gladys Hardy approached and respectfully bowed to the king. "She's as beautiful and elegant as ever." In the photos in newspapers and magazines, excited whispers continued to buzz as Princess Gladys Hardy approached and respectfully bowed to the king. "She's as beautiful and elegant as ever." She approached and respectfully bowed to the king. "She's as beautiful and elegant as ever. I heard she visited the Grand Duke's mansion. Isn't she furious about what her ex-husband did? Ah, I know. If it weren't for that tragedy, she could have been a wonderful queen by now, just like the current one. The more I think about it, the less I understand how he could have done such a terrible thing to her, and made her lose her title as crown princess." Standing in the corner, Anna Hardy silently agreed. Agreeing with the guests, "Yes, I also don't understand how someone could cheat on such a beautiful woman." A guest suddenly whispered, "Look, speak of the devil." The devil they spoke of was Phien Nider Reason. He slowly entered the ballroom under everyone's terrified gazes, and Princess Gladys Hardy also turned to look at him. With a complex feeling at Phien Nider Reason's appearance, the entire ballroom immediately fell silent. As all eyes turned to him, Phien Nider Reason maintained his cold demeanor, his brows furrowed as he nonchalantly entered the ballroom. His eyes suddenly locked onto the figure of Princess Gladys Hardy standing right before him. Phien thought with annoyance, "I thought Gladys Hardy understood after our conversation. But it seems I was careless. She really meant what she said. She wants her old position back. How ridiculous. I've never done anything that would harm me. Especially not if it involves Miss Gladys Hardy." The words of a friend who had proposed a bet in the past suddenly came to Phien Nider Reason's mind. Back then, he had said the bet starts on the opening day of the Royal Art Exhibition. We're all in, so it's fair, and the deadline is the day of the boat race. That day is also the summer festival, the main high society event of the season. The winner gets to watch the fireworks with Lady Anna Hardy from a boat on the Abid River. It'll be fun. That day is also the summer festival, the main high society event of the season. The winner will be the one who can. You'll join, won't you? It'd be a shame if the king of bets like you didn't participate. You're in, right? The prize money is enough to buy a townhouse. Right in the city center too. You're in, aren't you, king of bets? It would be a shame if you didn't. You're joining, right? Come on back then. To everyone's bewildered stares, Phien Nider Reason added, "You left this in the garden." And Phien Nider Reason quickly took out the handkerchief he had put away and held it out to her. He held her small handkerchief out to Anna Hardy and said, "This is yours, my lady." A gentle, tender smile formed on his lips. Anna Hardy immediately blushed and asked dazedly, "Pardon?" To everyone's bewildered stares, Phien Nider Reason added, "You left this in the garden." And Phien Nider Reason quickly took out the handkerchief he had put away and held it out to her. For a moment, a suggestive atmosphere hung in the air amidst everyone's silence. Anna Hardy quickly covered her mouth, then blushed and exclaimed, "Oh, my handkerchief. Thank you." Phien Nider Reason suddenly looked cheerful and asked if she wouldn't mind. Anna Hardy's head began to spin. Her face burning, she thought, "What is this? What is happening?" Suddenly gallant, he placed a hand on his chest, leaned close to Anna Hardy's face, and sincerely asked if she would grant him the honor of viewing the paintings with her. Dazed and panicked, Anna Hardy glanced at him, thinking, "What? Why is he doing this to me again?" His handsome, smiling face looked at her gently, and then he softly took her slender, fair hand. "Here, let's go," he said as they left hand in hand. The man behind them fumed, his face scrunched up as he cursed repeatedly. "That scoundrel! That scoundrel! That scoundrel! That blonde bastard! He acted like he wasn't in on the bet, and now he's the first one to strike." The king watched them curiously. "Who is that girl?" Louis replied angrily. "That's Anna Hardy, father. She's the daughter of Viscount HD, the one who used John to steal the spotlight at the royal ball. What is he thinking? How can she be so shameless? How could she fall for such an obvious and low-class trick?" Louis continued to grumble. Meanwhile, the king stroked his chin, lost in thought. The queen looked at Louis and said in a warning tone, "That's enough, Louis. People can hear you." Louis sulked and turned to leave. "Why won't anyone in this family listen to me?" After Louis left, she turned to him and said softly, "We should look into that girl, don't you think?" He pressed his lips together in silence, apparently considering the matter. The magnificent castle was filled with a lively atmosphere. Under the hazy, dreamlike light, Anna Hardy said, "You can go on ahead now, sir." He tilted his head to look at her, his eyes filled with a gentle smile, while Anna Hardy was extremely shy. Beads of sweat trickled down her cheeks. He asked her softly, "What's wrong? Are there other paintings you wish to see?" Anna Hardy lowered her head and shook it vigorously. "No, that's not it," Phien Nider Reason asked. "Then what is it?" Then, her sweet voice came. "You offered to look at the paintings together, and we've seen them all now. I suppose I have completed my role." Phien Nider Reason's long, narrow, cold eyes looked towards her. It was because he was staring like that she didn't dare to look up. Suddenly, he noticed the noisy chatter around them. He quickly turned his head to look. Bewildered, he instructed, "Stay still." Right after that, his rough hand sweetly wrapped around her shoulder. She cried out in alarm, "What are you doing?" He spoke gently, his deep, warm voice saying, "Stay still now. If you're going to play a part, you have to see it through," and the two of them proudly walked out the door under the admiring gazes of the guests. Anna Hardy puffed her cheeks, pouting cutely like a timid mouse, and glanced at Phien Nider Reason, who was smiling gently at her. He teased softly, "Are you angry?" Anna Hardy lowered her head and shook it repeatedly, denying it. "No, I'm not," he smirked slightly. "Are you sure? You look angry to me." Anna Hardy's eyes widened. "Not at all, my lord. I know I caused you a lot of trouble at the royal ball, so please consider this as me making up for it." Hearing her say that, he laughed teasingly, his deep voice repeating, "Making up for it? You mean you're annoyed that I bothered you, but you're willing to let it go because of what I did for you before? Ah, so what? Now that we've both landed a blow on each other, we're even, right? How calculating. All right, then let's just call this a fair and reasonable exchange." As Phien Nider Reason gently reached for her shoulder, he heard Anna Hardy let out a long, tired sigh. He looked at her thoughtfully, as if an idea had just struck him. Then, Phien Nider Reason gently took Anna Hardy's hand. This made Anna Hardy's expression turn to stunned surprise. Then he lifted the back of her hand and placed a sweet kiss upon it. Anna Hardy was so flustered her face turned crimson, blurting out, "What the heck?" he said softly. "Now I truly look forward to seeing you again." As soon as she finished speaking, he looked up at her thoughtfully, a slight smirk playing on his lips. Anna Hardy puffed her cheeks in annoyance and backed away, looking at the gossiping crowd around them. Their actions were unbelievable to him. Suddenly, his eager voice piped up, "Hey, you were acting so uninterested before. So what's with this sudden move now? What did you say to her? What did you say to her? Are you planning to see her again?" He tilted his head, looking at them wearily. "Don't you noisy people worry about it." After he walked away, the hall erupted in a clamor of disbelieving chatter. Is he really that serious about this bet? He's rich, and still so greedy, he's been blinded by money. How could he seduce another woman right in front of his ex-wife for a few bucks? What's your plan now? Everyone's going to hate you for this. Yeah, and what about Lady Anna Hardy? At that moment, he suddenly froze and turned to look at them with a sharp gaze. "So, you all made this bet because you genuinely care about Anna Hardy?" His question turned the man to stone. He stood frozen for 3 seconds, his face anxious as sweat poured down. "So you all made this bet because you genuinely care about Anna Hardy? Anna Hardy? Huh." His question turned the man to stone. He stood frozen for 3 seconds, his face anxious as sweat poured down. Suddenly, a voice from behind said, "Ahem, Prince John, thank you for taking the time to come to the exhibition. This is my student, the winner of this year's painting competition. He is the most talented artist at the Academy. That's why I wanted to introduce him to you. His name is Pavlov." He bowed politely. "It is a great honor to meet you, Your Highness." He looked at Baron Barden and spoke. "An artist? He looks more like a soldier." "Hello, yes." Phien Nider Reason smiled and said, "I greatly look forward to your works in the future." Hearing this, he quickly and respectfully replied, "Thank you, Your Highness." Right after that, Baron turned and strode away towards the door on the other side of the bustling park. Anna Hardy was quietly calling out to Baron Barden, but Phien Nider Reason's mood was the opposite. He lowered his head thoughtfully, whispering, "Baron Barden." Phien Nider Reason looked up, watching Baron Barden's retreating back. At that moment, in the park area, the air was fresh. Anna Hardy walked with a gloomy expression, her head lowered, her hands fidgeting with her skirt. "Oh my," Anna Hardy thought, blushing shyly. My fingers still feel tingly, she thought, as Baron Lars Fear approached, watching her from behind. With a gentle look in his eyes, he called out softly, "Anna Hardy." His voice made her turn around. She looked at him with bewilderment. Then her eyes widened, shining with joy. Anna Hardy quickly called his name, Baron Lars Fear. He looked at her and nodded gently, but she still couldn't believe it was real. She stared at him in astonishment. "Baron Lars Fear," he said with a bow. "It has been a long time, Lady Anna Hardy." Anna Hardy stared at him, still too stunned to reply. She lowered her head shyly, thinking, "Ah, it's been a long time since I've seen you." He continued to look at her with an indescribably gentle gaze. As the moments passed, they looked at each other with an indescribable expression. Just then, his teacher called out, "Baron Lars Fear." He tilted his head politely. "Yes." Then Baron Lars Fear looked back at her. He whispered softly, "See you later. I'll keep in touch." She looked at the gentle smile on his lips. It was the look of a dear friend seen after a long time, and the smile was exactly as I remembered. He hasn't changed at all. Okay, I'll wait until we meet again. Thanks to you. I was able to forget all the troubles of today. Anna Hardy then thought of the kiss Phien Nider Reason had placed on her hand. Her face flushed with embarrassment, except for that feeling, which wouldn't go away. The maid watched her with concern. "Are you all right, my lady?" "Yes, my lady, you know, I think they must be trying to fill your room with every flower from Super. It's already completely stuffed. Can't these men read? Why are they so persistent even after being rejected?" "Yes, and I've told you, my lady. You don't need to write a reply to every single one of them, my lady." Anna Hardy focused on the letter. The ink smudged, so she had to rewrite it. "No, I have to do this," she told her maid. "My grandmother always said that a lady must be gentle and polite, even when rejecting someone." Yes, you're right," she replied softly. Lisa Baven, are there any other letters?" the maid asked teasingly. "Other letters? You mean from Mr. Baron Lars Fear? That's all of them, but seeing how you're waiting, he must be very important to you." Anna Hardy shook her head vigorously, embarrassed. "No, it's not like that." The maid casually held the bouquet and said, all right, if you say so," as Anna's face turned bright red. "Lisa Baven, it's been 3 days since I saw Baron Lars Fear, but I haven't heard anything from him because I've been so busy. I hope nothing happened to him." "No, it's fine. I'm sure he'll contact me soon. I was so happy to see Baron Lars Fear that day, and yet, the image of Phien Nider Reason's warm kiss on her hand kept replaying in her mind. It made her toss and turn in bed, before burying her face in her pillow, cheeks burning with embarrassment. She couldn't sleep, the tingling sensation keeping her awake. Meanwhile, Phien Nider Reason slammed his glass on the table, overcome with emotion. He collapsed onto the table, exhausted and drunk. Phien Nider Reason lowered his head and said in a deep voice, "Hey, Mr. Groom-to-be, I won, didn't I?" The man, slumped dizzily over the table, spoke in a hoarse voice, "Whatever, you bastard, just take your trophy and get lost." Phien Nider Reason held the golden trophy towards him, reminding him, "Try not to get slapped by the new bride." The man seethed in a drunken stupor. Phien Nider Reason held the golden trophy towards him, reminding him, "Try not to get slapped by the new bride." The man seethed in a drunken stupor. At every bachelor party, that rotten idiot, he really can't stand to lose. He's probably got a few similar trophies at home that he doesn't even remember winning. Come to think of it, he probably won at my own bachelor party too. He's insane. The quiet moonlight illuminated the vast sky. The quiet of the night painted a vivid, beautiful picture, making the magnificent palace stand out. Under the streetlight, Anna Hardy quietly walked through the neighborhood, feeling wistful. Subo looked so quiet in the early morning. Under the streetlight, Anna Hardy quietly walked through the neighborhood, feeling wistful. Subo looked so quiet in the early morning. There aren't too many people around. I like this time better than the daytime. I'm so glad I went out. But I keep hesitating, and at times like this, I really wish I could talk to him. Bilford more since I met Baron Lars Fear, but I keep hesitating at times like this. I really wish I could talk to him. Suddenly, right at this moment, Anna Hardy froze, her eyes widening in shock. A weary figure was lying on a bench by the beautiful lake. The closer she got, the more bewildered she became. She quickly covered her mouth, shocked to see someone passed out. Are you all right, sir? Are you tired or injured? I'll go get help." He slowly opened his eyes and moved his arm. That familiar face left Anna Hardy stunned. She called out in bewilderment, "Prince John." He just looked at her calmly. "Phien Nider Reason," he said in a deep voice. Anna Hardy, Anna Hardy. She was so startled that sweat broke out on her cheeks. Stunned and wondering what the prince was doing here, Anna Hardy didn't have time to move away. He immediately grabbed her arm tightly, and there they were, two beautiful figures under the glow of the streetlight, exchanging tender, romantic gazes. "It's Anna Hardy again, Anna Hardy. I can't believe she followed me all the way here. How persistent." He smirked slightly. "Miss Anna Hardy, what are you doing here?" Before, she acted strangely, talking about some kind of reasonable exchange. Now she's following me again. She shouted angrily, "You smell of alcohol, let me go or I'll scream." Phien Nider Reason quickly grabbed her slender wrist. "How ridiculous. I asked why you are here." Anna Hardy puffed her cheeks in anger and pulled her hand back. "That hurts. This isn't your private residence. It's a public square. I have the right to be here if I want." He lowered his head, his deep voice tinged with mockery. That's right, so it is. She frowned at him in disgust, horrified by this absurdity. Yes, now please let me go. If you need help, I'll call someone for you. He smirked, playing innocent again. Listen, Miss Anna Hardy, I know all about women like you. You might hide your cunning nature behind that innocent face, but I'm sure this is exactly what you were waiting for. Do you really want to sell yourself to me? Are you willing to bet your life on this, especially after those rumors started? Do you really want to sell yourself to me? Are you willing to bet your life on this, especially after those rumors started? Miss Anna Hardy, she said, looking at Phien Nider Reason's drunken state. You're drunk. That's rude, isn't it, Miss Anna Hardy? She looked at Phien Nider Reason's drowsy, drunken state. He stepped gently onto the pavement and said in his deep voice, if we're going to seal this deal, we need to agree on a price first. I find this insulting and unpleasant. Please let me go. He gently stepped onto the pavement. With his deep voice, he said if we're sealing the deal, we need to agree on a price first. Her eyes widened in astonishment, unable to believe the words that had just come out of his mouth. She couldn't believe this man was once the crown prince. Her face grew pale with bewilderment. She stared at him with wide eyes, and a few seconds later, he suddenly collapsed onto her shoulder. The light shining on the street only enhanced the beauty of the scene as her astonished voice rang out. The light shining on the street only enhanced the beauty of the scene as her astonished voice rang out. His fall sent them both tumbling to the ground, knocking Anna Hardy's hat off. She whimpered in pain, whispering, Somebody, help! Phien Nider Reason mumbled as he fell, pinning Anna Hardy underneath him. Ah, that's right. He had fallen right on top of her. In pain, she cried for help. Help! He's not moving at all. Huh? Someone's coming this way. Get off! Let me go, please! The man ran over in a panic when he saw the scene. His face broke out in a cold sweat. Anna Hardy stared at them with frightened eyes. Fearing a misunderstanding, the man stared at them, his eyes wide with horror. This only made the prince hold Anna Hardy tighter. He rushed forward, shouting, Good heavens, your highness, what is happening here? Please wake up, your highness. Miss, are you all right? Anna Hardy abruptly stood up, grabbed the cup, and ran away. He lifted his head, his eyes fluttering open to watch her with a deep, mysterious gaze. The three of them stared blankly as she ran off so calmly. Right after, Phien Nider Reason collapsed, sending them into a panic. Your highness, Lisa Baven's voice echoed through the magnificent palace. It's finally here, my lady. The letter you've been waiting for from Baven Lars Fear has arrived. Anna Hardy, who was meticulously arranging flowers, quickly turned around upon hearing this. With a surprised look, she read the letter from Baven Lars Fear, written in his meticulous hand. Can we meet in front of the Archduke's bridge? She lowered her head and smiled at the letter. I can finally meet Baven Lars Fear. In front of the Archduke's bridge, she lowered her head and smiled at the letter. I can finally meet Baven Lars Fear. When I see him, I have to tell him everything that's happened while we've been apart. Everything. From my deepest sorrows. Lisa Baven, acting like a professional advisor, waved her hand in warning. No, you can't. He's not for you. He's like a poisonous mushroom. If you eat it, you'll die. Hearing Lisa Baven's warning, Anna Hardy fell silent for a moment to think it over. Coming back to reality, Anna Hardy tilted her head and sadly touched the back of her neck. Lisa Baven, acting like a professional advisor, waved her hand in warning. No, you can't. He's not for you. Your wound is deeper than I thought. How did you get injured like this? He said in a low voice. I'm fine, a little beating is no big deal. The servant panicked and asked, You were beaten? Who would dare lay a hand on you, your highness? Against a clear blue sky, the magnificent palace and its massive architecture stood out. As Phien Nider Reason focused on buttoning his shirt, the butler spoke up. We should call a doctor. Your wound is deeper than I thought. How did you get injured like this? He said in a low voice. I'm fine, a little beating is no big deal. The servant panicked and hurriedly asked, You were beaten? Who would dare lay a hand on you, your highness? Phien Nider Reason lowered his head and smirked, saying cryptically, Someone, an evil monster. The scene changes to his study. The nanny stood respectfully, as if preparing to make a report. She presented a prominent envelope. She placed it gently on his desk and said, Your Highness, an invitation has arrived from the House of Haver. He looked up at her sharply. House Haver? You mean my aunt. It must be that time of year again. Every year she gathers people just to brag about her connections. She bowed her head and replied, I shall send your regrets. No, said Phien Nider Reason. Tell her I will attend. His acceptance of the invitation made her look up. She looked at him in disbelief, her voice hesitant. But your highness, you know the Marquise is very, he replied in a low voice. I know, but she might have also invited Gladys Hardy. My dear aunt has a hobby of inviting everyone she knows to her extravagant parties, just to see if any drama unfolds. There's no way she'd miss the chance to invite the owner of that name. That is now on the tip of everyone's tongue. Not to mention the new lady in town, Anna Hardy, who is also the subject of much gossip. She has certainly received an invitation as well, the nanny wondered. But you still wish to go? He nonchalantly half closed his eyes. Everyone is expecting a good show, so why shouldn't I go and play along with my dear aunt? My beloved aunt doesn't have much time left, so I should indulge her while she's still here. I promise not to go too far and upset her chronic heart condition. Hearing this, the nanny frowned in disapproval. He recalled the sight of Anna Hardy holding the cup that night and said slowly, This is also a good opportunity to catch the cup thief. As she lowered her head to look closely at the letter, her expression relaxed and gentle. He slowly said, "I wonder what compensation from that little lady thief would be appropriate." With a relaxed and gentle expression, he slowly spoke. "I wonder what compensation from that little lady thief would be appropriate." The scene changes to a sky turning orange gold, softening the sunset. Right now, besides the crown prince and princess, he's also a hot topic in high society. She's a materialistic woman, only interested in marriage arrangements. What? For her own benefit? I can't believe it. That's really Anna Hardy. Anna Hardy, what happened after I left? I never thought you'd come to a place like this, let alone how intimidated you must feel. To see a little country girl become a lady like this in just 1 year. Suddenly, at that moment, a sweet female voice called out, "Baron Barden." He quickly turned his head to look, his eyes widening in surprise. It was the gentle figure of Anna Hardy striding towards Baron Barden with a waving hand. The smile on her lips was like sunshine. Making the space around them feel warm, he covered his mouth and smiled joyfully, like a warm welcome between two old friends. Baron Barden held his forehead, smiling foolishly and thinking, "This is the Anna Hardy I know." Meanwhile, Anna Hardy just gave him a deadpan look. "Baron Barden, do I need to call you Lord today?" He looked up, the corners of his mouth lifting into a gentle smile. "No, today I'm just Baron Barden." Hearing him say that made Anna Hardy's eyes curve into an innocent smile. Her cheeks flushed pink as she said, "My friend Baron Barden." He replied in a warm, deep tone, "That's right, Anna Hardy." After greeting each other, the two shook hands, causing Lisa Baven, standing behind them, to cover her mouth and giggle. Thinking about the script of her life, Anna Hardy gazed into the distance of the grand party and slowly began to confide in him. "I think father wants to marry me off." He tilted his head, looking in surprise at her small face under the pretty, flowered hat. Her eyes held the deep wounds of her soul. That much was certain. "He thinks it's time to fulfill his duties as a father, but I have no intention of getting married." Hearing this, he sighed in relief and thought to himself. Viscount Hardy's purpose was all too clear. He didn't care about his so-called fatherly duties. He just wanted to sell Anna Hardy to the highest bidder. But even if I can see through his plan, there's nothing I can do. Meanwhile, Phien Nider Reason was also lost in thought. "I'm quite satisfied with this morning's report from Free Bank, and if this continues, it will surely bring in huge profits. This morning's report from Free Bank, and if this continues, it will surely bring in huge profits. All that's left now is my aunt's party." Just then, he noticed Anna Hardy happily chatting with Baron Barden. Anna Hardy's fair face and elegant side profile were captivating. He glanced at her with his usual cold eyes, wondering. Anna Hardy and the redhead next to her must be Baron Barden. He smirked, a mocking smile forming on his lips. Anna Hardy and the redhead next to her must be Baron Barden. He smirked, a mocking smile forming on his lips. "People call her the successor to Gladys Hardy Hartford. How ridiculous," Lisa Baven said. "Really, let me take you home." She replied gently and tactfully. "It's really not necessary. Lisa Baven is coming home with me anyway, but I was very happy to see you again today. And I'm grateful you offered to see the places where I sell my artificial flowers." Baron Barden looked at her with gentle eyes. "It was nothing. I was happy to do it. Get home safe. If you need any help, just let me know," Anna Hardy quickly replied. With that, Anna Hardy started to head back with Lisa Baven. Before leaving, she waved goodbye to him with a sweet smile. Baron Barden continued to watch her with gentle eyes. With that, Anna Hardy started to head back with Lisa Baven. Before leaving, she waved goodbye to him with a sweet smile. Baron Barden continued to watch her with gentle eyes, but it seemed to hold an indescribable regret. "It ends here. It's time to stop, Baron Barden. I'm talking about your frequent visits to the Baron's place. Both you and the Baron's granddaughter are no longer children. I accept father's advice. Because I agree with him, rumors about us have started to spread. The son of a lumberyard owner, and the granddaughter of a fallen noble family. It's time for the two of us to keep our distance. I have to see her as a little sister. Nothing more, nothing less, because we can never be allowed to go any further. It has to stop here. I've drawn the line and now I have to stick to it." Scene changed to the evening party. Taking place in a grand palace, she fanned herself while chattering non-stop. "Oh my goodness, you're here." "Oh," Phien Nider Reason replied politely. "It's been a while, Aunt." Her eyes widened in surprise. Oh. I honestly didn't think you would come, but seeing you here now, I hope you won't disappoint my expectations. I also pray you don't cause any trouble." He could read her like an open book. She began, "My dear, did you know that Gladys Hardy is also here?" He frowned, thinking Leonard Nider Reason and Louis probably didn't come. "So where is that thieving lady?" She looked towards Anna Hardy, who was politely greeting guests up ahead. She slowly reminded him, "Go and say hello. I hear she has forgiven you. I don't think I should be the one to make peace. And try to live a decent life. There she is. If you keep up this debauchery, your bones won't hold up when you're old." He walked away, speaking in a deep, warm tone. "Excuse you for what?" She sulked at the brat. "I'm still talking." He greeted her in a mocking tone. "Hello, Miss Gold Thief." She lowered her head, her face flushing with embarrassment, and slowly said, "Gold Thief? What do you mean by that? Why?" He tilted his head to observe her. "Say, can we talk for a moment?" Her cold voice rang out. "I have nothing to say to you, Your Highness." He retorted just as sharply. You stole my gold and you dare to be this arrogant? What did you do with my button? Anna Hardy lowered her head in denial. I don't understand what you're saying. Please go somewhere else, Your Highness. People are watching. He replied calmly, I'll leave when you return the button you stole. She questioned, You keep calling me a thief. What do you mean I stole from you? Why do you keep saying that? He explained coldly. I mean it literally, because you are a thief, a real one. Why do you keep insulting people like this? It seems you have a convenient habit of forgetting things that are disadvantageous to you, huh? She looked up at him angrily. Aren't you the same, Your Highness? As if the terrible things you did to me that night weren't enough. And now you continue to be so rude to me. I understand you were too drunk that day to remember what happened. But it's still unacceptable. Suddenly his cold voice rang out, I remember everything. Shocked, she quickly turned to look at him with disbelief in her eyes. He continued to speak. I remember exactly everything that happened at the fountain in Terra Square. She turned to him, her face flushed and fuming. You remember everything? Then why did you? He lowered his head. I'm sorry if I went a little too far. I apologize. Part of it was my fault. She couldn't believe her ears. It didn't sound sincere at all. Phien Nider Reason reminded her. Now it's your turn, Miss Anna Hardy, gesturing politely. Anna Hardy said angrily, What do I have to apologize for, Your Highness? Phien Nider Reason stroked his chin nonchalantly. Perhaps for assaulting me with my own button before stealing it and running away. Immediately after, with a stunned and petrified expression, she quietly whispered, What are you talking about? She remembered the golden button Anna Hardy held as she ran away, the nonchalant way she held it as she walked off arrogantly. Ah, not that shiny gold thing, he said mockingly. Looks like you remember now, huh? So, what did you do with my button? The button. It gives me chills thinking about how it touched the prince. Well, while I was walking, Anna Hardy's voice trembled. I threw it away. He tilted his head, looking at her in surprise. You threw it away? Anna Hardy thought. It's probably lying around in some corner of Terra Boulevard. She stammered fearfully. I threw it away on the way home. Oh no, what should I do now? He spoke. Now take my hand, Miss Anna Hardy. She looked bewildered. What? Amidst the bustling festival, he elegantly. The lights shone down on them, creating a romantic scene as Phien Nider Reason's gaze fell upon Anna Hardy. Anna Hardy shyly lowered her head. No, I can't dance. So, Phien Nider Reason looked at her and said in a deep voice, This conversation is far from over, and hiding behind a pillar to talk will only draw more attention. So, Miss Anna Hardy. Amidst the noise of the banquet, Phien Nider Reason gently took her long, slender hand. Just then, a girl with lovely hair was watching the two of them from a distance. The girl's face was filled with sadness, and her body trembled as if she was worried about something. Seeing Gladys Hardy's expression, I'm actually grateful to this thieving lady. Suddenly, Anna Hardy spoke in a sweet, hesitant voice. Is it made of real gold? I mean, the Adaptfee trophy, right? She said awkwardly. I'm sorry, I was in shock that night and didn't realize. I promise I'll pay you back. Of course, I don't have the money right now, but if you'd give me some time, I'll do whatever it takes to get the money. A mysterious smile played on his lips as he spoke in a deep voice. All right, let's do that. Gotcha. She's not as shameless as I thought. She asked in confusion. Really? He replied. Let's see if she's anything like a lady. She has a basic understanding of fair exchange, so this game will be much easier. Therefore, Phien Nider Reason made a new proposal. You must pay me back. Let's start with this dance. And just like that, their hands clasped together. It created a beautiful picture, as he gently placed a hand on her small waist, pulling her slightly closer. Everyone at the banquet was buzzing, gossiping about this spectacular scene. They were all completely surprised. With eyes wide and mouths agape, they never expected to witness the two of them dance with such light and graceful movements. It made the party's atmosphere even more lively. His eyes looked down at her gently, but right now, Anna Hardy was trying to immerse herself in the music, and I focused on the innocent expression on her face. I began to wonder if this was real or if it was all part of a calculated plan. If that's the case, this woman is the best actress I've ever seen. Latran, of course. That princess over there was even more naive, at least on the surface. He let out a slight, sinister smile. His lips curled into a smirk. Thank you, my little thief. You've just helped me create the perfect scene. In front of all the important guests, Anna Hardy looked up at him, her eyes filled with confusion. As the music ended, he lowered his head and looked down at her with gentle eyes. Loud applause and praise erupted from the crowd. Phien Nider Reason said, Well done, Miss Anna Hardy. She breathed a sigh of relief. Then he leaned close to her ear and whispered, Take your time paying me back for the trophy. Her eyes crinkled as she gave him a sweet smile. Thank you, sir. He glanced back at her, his eyes contemplative. The sky slowly turned a purplish blue, with the full moon shining down, creating a romantic atmosphere. He shouted in surprise. What the heck? Phien Nider Reason? Are you really dating her? I bet you're not, but if you are, you're breaking the rules. In a familiar dive, he calmly held a glass of wine, staring off into the sky. He seemed to be troubled by his thoughts. The other man held a brightly colored letter, reminding Phien Nider Reason not to get ahead of himself. I received a letter from Miss Anna Hardy too. The man next to him asked curiously, What? What does it say? Let me see. The letter Anna Hardy sent to Bergen was slowly opened. It read as follows. First of all, Thank you for the flowers and the letter you sent me, but I'm afraid I cannot go for a walk or have tea with you. Mr. Bergen, I hope your flowers and letters will reach other beautiful ladies in the future. Thank you again, and I apologize. Anna Hardy. Of other beautiful ladies in the future. Thank you again, and I apologize. Anna Hardy. Anna Hardy. A mocking laugh immediately rang out after the letter was read. I'm the one who got the letter, so why are you so happy? She rejected me flat out. I'm the one who got the letter, so why are you so happy? It's a flat-out rejection. Ha ha ha, the teased young man got angry, grabbing his collar and shouting in embarrassment. Stop laughing, this is how things start. Stop laughing. Only Phien Nider Reason remained calm. He closed his eyes, slowly raising a glass to his lips, thinking to himself that she was indeed the type of woman who says exactly what she's thinking, even if she's scared. Suddenly, one of them noticed something in the distance and cried out excitedly. Huh, what's going on over there? Some bastard is hitting on Miss Anna Hardy. He got a clear look at the man's face. A moment later, he shouted, confirming it was the second son of House Hanzo. He grumbled in annoyance. Meanwhile, Veer had a strange look on his face, staring intently in that direction. Wait a minute, he can't just butt into our game like that. He suddenly spoke, cutting off his friend's annoyed complaints. If you don't like it, then go down there and tell him to join the bet. Otherwise, just ignore him. Our bet is our own business, and we have to let Miss Anna Hardy socialize too. Otherwise, just ignore him. Our bet is our own business, and we have to let Miss Anna Hardy socialize too. They continued to joke around, just as the blonde princess walked up behind them. Even for just a moment, I knew I could trust you, she quickly called out, interrupting them. Even for just a moment, I knew I could trust you, she quickly called out, interrupting them. Slowly turning with a pale face, Phien Nider Reason frowned and let out a weary sigh. He lightly raised his glass, glanced at her, and casually agreed. All right, princess, go ahead. The blonde princess fell silent, waiting for the others who were not involved to quickly depart. She then gathered her courage and asked quietly, are you going to continue using that girl like this? Phien Nider Reason asked back with feigned, indifferent surprise. What girl? You mean Anna Hardy? Using her? Aren't you being a little overconfident? How so? How can you be so sure I don't have real feelings for her? To me, that country girl is 1,000 times more beautiful than you. Princess, she's also far kinder and more innocent than you. The blonde princess cried out in an agitated, pleading tone. Princess, she's also far kinder and more innocent than you. The blonde princess cried out in an agitated, pleading tone. Please don't do this. Don't hurt innocent people. Our issues are between us, and we should find a solution together. Phien Nider Reason's sharp gaze landed on her, silencing her faltering voice. He reminded her coldly, and there is nothing left between us. The blonde princess clasped her trembling hands and stammered out a question. What if, John? What if I were to propose another deal? Phien Nider Reason looked with annoyance at her pathetic display. He wondered what she was trying to pull now, but outwardly, he wondered, what is she trying to accomplish with this act?